Hey there, lads and lasses. This here is Thunderhand64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States. Here on a Friday morning, it is a bit past 11 a.m. That can only mean that it's time for some Buffooncraft SMP. Let me wet my whistle a bit with a little bit of Guinness. There we go. That's better. Now I've got my voice back. There he is. Yes. And I apologize for the long intros. I'm trying to run the ads, like a 3-minute ad now before the stream actually starts. So I can get the ads out of the way. That way people who are joining don't get the pre-roll and stuff. And we can still get the ads in there for the ad revenue. So 'tis what it is. Let's jump right in onto the server here. We'll do the catching up as we go along here. Hello. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, let's step out here. Hopefully I don't get hit by these guys. Maybe back up a little bit. I don't want to get too close, so that's the problem. There we go. You guys can see in there a little bit now. All right. So I've been AFK at the Southern Mob Farm. You guys can see if you look above me there. Yeah, for almost 24 hours now, I think. And saving up the bone meal and stuff so I can get some coral at my little coral, my wee coral farm, so I can build out the roads. And all of this because I'm procrastinating on my main build. And I'm in a serious procrastination spiral right now. And I don't know why, because I'm actually very excited to build my main build. I got the cool idea. I planned it out, and I proofed it out in the test server. It does actually work. And so now I just need to get on with building it. And I'm getting into the sticky parts of the design part of it now, where I have to do some things with 3D models and voxelizing and things like that. And I guess I've just been putting that off, and I don't know why. I really need to get on with that. I'm procrastinating on my procrastination project, so yeah, relatable. Yeah. I'd like to welcome in Armageddon's Fire. Arma, how you doing? And, of course, the one and only, the Real Foolish Sage. You guys can see the shout out there for Sage. Please go check him out when you get a chance. Let's see how much bone meal we've gotten. This farm is okay for bone meal, but it's not great. I could tweak it and optimize it a little bit. It has two problems. Number one, the spiders often clog the chute, but that's doesn't really, impede it too much. So I could get rid of the spiders. I could add an extra level to the top. I've got 3 platforms. I could go up a few more platforms. Maybe that'll help. But you get to a point where you reach diminishing returns because the mob cap can only produce 70 mobs at a time in a chunk. I'm not 100% certain of that. I'll have to check that. But so if you get, past a certain number of platforms, it doesn't help. One of the main things that's holding this up is you can see when I'm in passive mode, it pulls away the mud blocks and it increases the drop by 1 block, and so they just die on their own. You don't have to whack them. So you don't get the XP, you just get the drops. So it makes it AFKable, which is cool, but the problem is if they have armor on, or the witches with their potions, or the baby zombie chicken jockeys can survive that fall. And then after about an hour or so, they all build up in here, and of course it affects the mob cap and the chunk, and it slows down the spawns. So if I wanted to really optimize this, I need to think of a way around that. And I've been thinking about that for the last 24 hours. Trying to come up with different ways, like maybe put dispensers here and occasionally just blip out some lava there or something. See, if they have the lava, they can survive. If they have the armor, they can survive the fall. And right now, all I'm doing is every now and then, about every half hour to hour or so, I come in here and I just check it. And if it's clogged up with mobs, I just manually kill them and then go back and AFK again. So that's what I've been doing. But I think if we have a passive mob farm, it should be 100% passive. So, and the reason why we went with this kind of thing is Nova and I, Nova's my neighbor over this way. My render distance isn't set. But we were thinking we wanted both the gunpowder and the bones, but we also wanted the XP as well. This doesn't, again, produce a huge amount of XP, but if you're just working away over at your base and you just want to repair like 1 tool or 2 tools, this is a good little farm for that. It is. Now, I had to put these gates on here. I don't like the look of it. It makes it look jankier. It looked a heck of a lot smoother when I just had the signs on there. It looked really cool. But what happened was I was AFK at one point, and I don't know. I think one of the skeletons might have had an enchanted bow that had at least punch 1 on it. And they shot through the hole here and hit me back into the water stream while I was AFK, and I didn't know it, and I drowned. So my solution to that was to put the gates on here. All right, let's go down and let's collect our bone blocks. It did a pretty good job in getting the bone blocks here. And we have 8, 7, 6. So we have about 15 stacks. That's pretty good. That's a lot. I'm gonna leave a few stacks in here. Now, our friend, a real foolish sage, also just ran around the server quickly and gathered some bone blocks together from the various sources we have around the server, which I appreciate. And he dropped them off. That's part of his procrastinating. Other than just being a cool guy, I could tell. That's part of his. I'm in a serious procrastination spiral right now. Oh, look at this. Wow. Sage, that's a lot, dude. That is a lot. Appreciated. Sage, I'm going to leave your shulker right here so you can come and get it. But, by the way, if you... Yeah, I gave him bad directions. I told him east. I told him to go here. It's west. It's over on this side, Sage. That's why I said you're going to laugh. You know, visually my brain is like north, south, west, and east like this, but my mouth is saying opposite things. Yeah, I did. It's right here. It's right here. Not your fault. That's why I said I'm going to laugh. That's why I said you're going to laugh when you see that. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. And of course, greatly appreciated, as always. I could probably stand to give you some better directions. Probably? No, I can definitely. Let me see. Let me get my gear. I stripped off most of my gear here when I was... AFK here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, here's a lot of me. A lot of me things. Yeah, I think I just had like all of this in my inventory right here. Here we go. Let me see. Do I still have my... Yeah, all right. So, let me see. Events coming up. Not this Sunday, but the Sunday after on the 30th, I believe it is. I think it's the 30th. That is Sunday. Tis the 30th. We have a major season Buffooncraft event happening on Sunday. I, of course, won't stream it, but I'll very likely record it. And if you would like to see it live being streamed, the other Buffoons will definitely be streaming it. It's going to be a huge culmination of some of the lore that's been building up, and it's going to kick us into what's probably the second half of the season. So I don't know if I'd shown you the newest procrastination project, building a museum at Eve's base and her dog and cat statues. Now... We were talking about this. Was it earlier today or was it yesterday? It's when I pull these 24-hour AFKs, I forget what day it is. So, oh, we left a shulker, a very important shulker, just floating on the ground there. Yeah, that one has to go in there. That's my resupply kit. Let's just organize things here. We do this. Let's get that out of there. We put that there. We can put that right there. These are good. That's good. All of that's good. Yeah, I think we're doing all right. These are extras right here. These are my chibis. Way I can use them when I'm AFK, but if I lose them, it's not a big deal. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. Sage, I'll very likely be over in a little while to go check that out. I don't really have a heck of a lot planned for the stream today. Because, again, I'm in procrastination mode. What happened? Hello. That's better. Hold on a sec. What's going on? I'm doing something dumb. Let me check something really quick. First of all, I got to turn my sound back on. I forgot that. Let me switch over back to here for a moment while I do this. Let me see. Game sounds are now back on. That's a good thing. I think you guys can hear them there. Let's go back to display. What has happened? Why am I not getting the... How come this is upside down? I didn't put that there. Upside down. It's not upside down. It should be fine. But for some reason, it isn't activating... That should be tick, 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 tick. It should be activating that, and it's not. Somehow it's locked. I know I'm doing something dumb here. Do I need a block next to that? Really? You're kidding. Let's see if I need that in order for it to dispense the... It should just dispense the bone meal right out. How come it hits it only once and then stops? That is weird. So I've been using this thing for hours and hours and hours and hours, and all right. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Let's see. It's definitely a dispenser. It's not a dropper. That is bizarre. That is really bizarre. I don't get this at all. I guess it 3 blocks over, because it would have to pass this down into that block below it, and then through that block to this block, and then through this block to that. I don't think it can do that. Okay, that's what it's supposed to do. Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's... Are we doing a quasi-connectivity thing here? I mean... You know, Sage, you're probably not wrong, but I just didn't think... I mean, it's supposed to be doing that. Yeah, but even if it were powering the block below it, right? It would be powering this sand block, and then the power would have to run through that sand block, through this wood block, and then over into the dispenser to... But I don't know. I think that's the only thing that could be doing it, right? Because if that's the case, that's going to open up a whole world of redstone possibilities for me. Because I'm definitely going to be using that. Yeah, I'll move it over. Well, you know, yeah, I guess you could think of it that way, right? You could think of it as the lever being powering this air block in between, right? And so that means it'll power these this one, and that one, and then the 2 on the other side, so it'll power 6 blocks in each direction. So you're right, it's probably having the lever here is, even though it's up against this lamp, it's powering this whole air block here. So it's probably locking it in that direction. You're probably right. No, you're not probably right. You're definitely right. Yeah, that has to be doing that, right? Yeah, no, you're right. You're right in that. Nope, that's exactly what's happening. There we go. I thought moving the lever over there would be, a little bit more efficient, or just a little handier, right? Yeah, see? Also, notice the faster rate. Like, if I just place... This is a cool little piece of redstone. That's good to know, right? If I just place this observer on top of the other observer, listen to that rate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting fours because I'm a musician, right? So listen to that rate. But if I do this, and I push it into place, hear how the rate's faster. It's because it gets an update when it pushes the observer. And so it gets an extra tick in there, right? And so it'll go faster, right? And so sometimes you want it at this speed, but sometimes if you want it slower, it depends on how you make this observer clock, right? So... And no, I didn't point that out just to offset the embarrassment of having put the lever on the other side and lock. No, that was dumb. That's still dumb. But it is a cool thing. Right now we're wasting massive amounts of bone meal. There we go. Yay. So much coral. But yeah, it's, a lot of these redstone machines, maybe not this one per se. Well, I don't know. It kind of is. They rely on timing. Timing's a big thing, right? And so just little timing tweaks like that can solve a lot of problems. They can also create a lot of problems too, but they can solve a lot of problems. Yeah, I don't like the amount of coral that's building up in front of me there. Maybe I have to move the source over a little bit. Yeah, you got to make like little tweaks to this thing here and there. But, this is just like a hack little coral farm, It's not meant to... It's meant to produce a lot of coral, but not like super mega industrial levels of coral, that's for sure. And now because of the mod that we have, we can now craft coral blocks out of coral fan and coral. It's really cool. And it's this stuff I really want. I really want the purpley stuff, the bubble coral. And I could do this with an auto crafter, but then I would have to set up all the filters for it and stuff, and yeah, that'd be a pain. So for right now, it's still okay just to craft this by hand like this for now until it comes to the point where I really need so much more. Let's see if I get any more 4s from here. I think I do. We could do this. Get an extra brain coral. I'm trying to avoid at least a bit the. I want less of the brain coral, and I want less of the tube coral. Those don't really have the look that I want right now. And then, of course, when I want to and get the coral blocks, and I want the dead coral blocks, so I have to kill these coral blocks. So I just pillar up with them for now. But there's a way that you can actually make the coral blocks spawn out of the water, which is... I don't know how they would do that because... But that way they'll be dead upon creation, the fans and the pieces of coral. And that way you don't have to do this part. And then you could just auto-craft the dead coral fans and the dead coral and get the dead coral blocks. So there's that too. Yeah, so I mainly want it to be the bubble coral with the fire coral and the horn coral. Now, the road design that I'm looking for, yeah, so you just wait for it to all to die like this, and then you just hack it down. The road kind of system I'm going for. Let me reset my... That's weird. My render distance is at 32 chunks. I should be able to see this. Is this particle effects? Maybe, right? Max shadow distance, general quality, decreased, minimal. Because usually I can see all the way over to the iron farm. There might be a server limitation on render distance besides what Bobby does. I think that's what's going on. Because usually I can see all the way over to there, and I can see to the other shores. And I've updated Bobby lately to be able to see that stuff. So we can temporarily... Where do I want to go? I want to go back. I want to go to mods. I want to go to Bobby... right here. Yeah, see, my max is at 64. So now I don't like to run it at that because my system isn't quite that good. But I could temporarily load it up to that just to get the chunks to load. But you can already see, right, that it's already cut off there. There's no way that that's a 64 chunk. So something's up with that. I'm probably just forgetting what this setting is. So let's drop this back down to like 32 is usually the max at which I want it to run. There we go. Yeah, simulated. I don't think max shadow distance. Shadow render distance control how far the train can render in the shadow pass. Longer distance would mean that less lower will be rendered, improving the rates. Okay, maybe this needs to go up too. It never has needed to. Yeah, that didn't do anything. Yeah. So I misunderstood that. Yeah, it could be. All right, let's set it back because I don't want to unnecessarily tax the system if I don't need to. Those are off right now. Fancy biome blend logs, shadows, vignette, distortion effects, FOV effects. Yeah, distortion effects, I usually turn these off. Because it can be nauseating sometimes. Yeah, I think I'm okay. I don't want to spend stream time doing this. I'll do this off stream. But the important thing is that you can see this road here. That's the important thing. I would also like you to be able to see this west road running off to the iron farm, because that's just a straight line of deep slate blocks like you see with the ring here. And eventually I'm going to take those out and replace them all with the coral. But you can see where I've staggered the road a little bit, so it's roughly straight. It's almost straight, which, I don't know, looks better to me than having it be straight. So just about, so this is in the middle, then I kicked it west by a block, then in the middle, kicked it east by a block, in the middle, kicked it west, and I just continued that pattern. And it just, when you break it up just a little bit like that, it still looks straight, but not straight enough to be boring. So I like that. The other main part of the road will be all around the perimeter of the island like that. And then, of course, there'll be different paths off of these roads to the different structures and areas of interest about the base. So that's on which I've been procrastinating. That on which I've been procrastinating. Yeah, however English works. And not really getting done what I need to get done. And I really do need to get onto that main build, because I do not want to run out of time. And I want to complete it early enough where we can actually enjoy it during the season, instead of just completing it at the end, whereby, I mean, what's the point of finishing at the end, right? You can't use it, you can't enjoy it, right? So yeah, I'm trying to schedule the logistics for my builds to work out where they're mostly finished by the middle of the season. And I think this event marks the middle of the season. I think it does. If it's not the middle, then it's probably like 2/3, but I don't know what our devs, Nova and Villager, have planned for that. But you guys can see the way that this path looks. It looks cool. It looks cool. I like it. One of the things I remembered after I switched over to the coral and I put in this coral with the mossy cobblestone is I remembered I wanted a Celtic design for this. And now I went and I staggered it like this. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not. I'll try to, and plus it's only 7 blocks wide, so I have to come up with something that'll fit that. But I think I can do it. If I don't put the Celtic design in the paths and the roads here, then I'll put it somewhere else. I had more of a 1/3 feeling from it. If it was 1/3, that would be great. That would be so cool. But yeah, this is what I've been occupying myself with. But I really didn't like the deep slate. I mean, I put it in, and you know, for the amount of effort and stuff and the amount of planning that goes into it, it looks merely okay. And merely okay is not what I'm looking for. So so, you know, friends, you can see, you know, the straight paths are really dull looking, right? Whereas if you just stagger them a little bit, you still get the straightness as far as following the path, right? You can still follow the path in a straight line. You don't have to do this kind of thing, right? But it breaks up that straight line and makes it a little less monotonous, right? And so you just break it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's so cool. So cool. The other thing on which we've been occupying ourselves, distracting ourselves with from what we're supposed to be doing is over here. So you guys can imagine there'll be now a path that breaks off of that and comes on over to here. And we've been driving ourselves quite mad with the screaming goats. They're the good Lord. I can only spend so much time here. You know, I mean. Oh, between the cats and the goats. All right, so we managed to finally get our 2 screaming goats here. And now from them, we can just breed screaming goats now. So all of these that are shrieking about and driving everyone crazy, these 4 are screaming goats. And these 2 are the non-screaming variety. These 2 use their indoor voices. Ow! Got rammed. Okay, you and you. Oh, my particle effects are on minimal. Yeah, that's why we don't have the hearts. There we go. Done and done. Breed them by the dozen and hide them in the flow. It's so annoying. So, buffoons, I have all of the horns now. I just need some of the rarer varieties. Like I need the yearn horns, the dream horns, the call horns. I have yet to get any of the admire horns to fall though. So that's what I'm working on now. And so just every now and then as I'm going about my business here at the base, you know, I just pass by here, breed up some more, and then check to see if they've dropped any of the horns. So more things with which to distract myself. Let's go see how the iron farms go. There goes Bubbles. You can see him going to the top. I don't know if they've slept since I've entered this chunk. They probably haven't, so they probably are not going to make iron golems. Not yet. I need to have this chunk loaded while one night goes by. That's some pretty good iron. Like I said, I've been AFK for quite some time in different chunks. So if these chunks are not loaded, the farm's not going to run. So yeah, if I AFK there, that double chest would be full in just a couple hours. Yeah, that thing cranks. All right, so what I'm thinking of doing just for now is I'm certainly not going to farm coral for the entire stream. Why can't I say coral? That's an easy word to say. Yeah, I'm certainly not going to do that for the entire stream. So, and I know you're disappointed. But let's tear some of this out and start installing the coral here. And let's get the main area right here in front of the farmer hall. Let's go take this out. 2 things I'm also going to permit myself to be distracted with which I'm going to, however. I've been getting the itch to build a drown farm. And now we already have an adequate enough drown farm on the server. That Corny built, it certainly serves us well enough. But I just like building those. They're just fun to build. And it turns out my neighbor, OPG, has an excellent area in his backyard behind his little ham back there. That is just shockingly good for a drone farm. It's so good. It's like I can't pass up building one there. It's just too good. And so I might ask him if he wants to join me in building a drone farm there. Because that's in his backyard, so I don't want to just go ahead and... he's already told me that I could build one there if I want to, but... You know, I like being a good neighbor. And he's expressed an interest in building one, so... And I think Skip also wanted to be involved in that, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, see, the thing I don't like about the brain coral is it's a little loud. That's why you may have noticed I'm kind of leaning towards using it more towards the edges. The tube coral is not so obnoxious, but it's still a little weird up against the other pieces of coral, so I might farm a little bit more coral just to finish this up. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, let's go make a little bit more just to finish that up. I don't want to fill all of this in with the brain and the tube. It's a little much. But let's get rid of what we have. Really? Hands. You're kidding, right? Way to betray me on the stream. Let's go do that. There. And of course, I'll have to remove my early game mine shaft. And I'm thinking on putting the shaft down to the mines right under the portal. I think that makes sense. And I'll put a bubble vader on there and make a proper one. I also have some tinted glass in the inventory. I want to get rid of that. Put that down where it belongs, here. One of the other things I was considering, maybe towards the end of the season when we're in decoration mode, is to change this up a little bit. But I just love the way this looks so much. But I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking on extending the tanks all the way up to the surface. The geodes, of course, are just down here. There's no other ones other than maybe this third one up in the very corner up there. There's a geode up there. But my thinking is to take the collection and storage structure here and putting it up on the surface and having these tanks open to the surface up above. That way we can get it away from the underground here. I'll still leave all of this intact, maybe not this, but I'm really more towards building things on the surface this season. You would think that this would really have to be underground because the geodes are down here. But we could have the tanks go all the way up. It just takes longer for them to flow up to be collected. and for us to swim down to get to the geodes. But you know what? It's not that big of a deal. Another event that has been greatly distracting me is my older son, Biggie Cheese, is home from university for the week. He's on his spring break. So I'm pretty groggy right now. His plane came in at about midnight last night, and thankfully it's not LAX. It's the local airport here, which is so much better. It takes me 10, 15 minutes to drive over there. Oh, more like 15 to drive over there. It's not a huge international airport. It's pretty small, and it's just so much nicer than LAX. So I get to pick him up there. But his flight came in at midnight, and so I'm a little groggy from being up that late, but not much. Well, let's get rid of this deep slate. And let me see, the signs are from the Mob Farm. Crafted oak, everybody. Let's go make a little bit more coral. Not much. Let's load up the dispenser. One dispenser's load worth of coral. Let's do that. This would make 9 stacks, right? 1 block. So I think we should be all right there. Yeah. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. There we go. And I like this because I'm using a stone pickaxe that has just the mending and unbreaking 3 on it, I think. And it gives me a good rate for breaking the coral fans here. So, and it doesn't wear. So that's really nice. There is a little bit of durability lost on it there, but that was for me just using it for other things because it was selected in my hotbar. Also this week, other things that have been distracting me. I've got a lot of distractions. Been playing a lot of guitar this last week. Guitar is really, really difficult for me to play because of these. But I think I'm getting down the guitar part that I'm working on well enough to record it now. I don't want to make any promises as usual, but I can almost play well enough to do the guitar parts I need for my songs. So, of course, I would prefer to have an actual guitar player play them because I just want to play bass and do my singing and stuff. So I don't want to play guitar, but I do it because I have to. But I think I have the guitar part down for one song on which I'm working, so it'll be close to time to record that pretty soon. Also, I've been working on updating the generation server to 1.21.4 and its associated mods and resource packs. And I did run into some problems with that initially. That set me way back on that. But those problems have been resolved, and so it's just a matter of getting in there and completing it and doing the uploads and the archiving and stuff like that. And so, as usual, for the Generation 5 survival world, I'll just save the chunks that are that inland sea with Mushroom Island Central, Mushroom Island West, and the chunks of the around the shoreline of that seed. And then I'll prune all of the other chunks in the map. And so we should be able to get the pale forests in there and things like that. So. Oh, good. We've got plenty of bubble coral. Plenty being 16 blocks. Awk. But we can craft coral, so I'm not going to complain. Not going to complain much. You'll get an awk out of me, but that's about it. Okay, that looks good. Let's get some of the straggling bits here. Clean these up. Like so. We can get a block out of that. And that's about it, I think. Looks that way. The cool thing about this mod is you can mix coral and coral fans, as long as there's the same variety. Like I could have in the 4 block or 4 slot recipe, I can have like a certain number of coral fans combined with a certain number of pieces of coral, right? As long as there's the same variety, and it'll still craft the block. It's cool. And of course, thank you to Nova for putting that in for us. Because, like I said earlier, we're surrounded by a beautiful coral reef here. Both he and I down here, and other places around the server too. And it just breaks my heart to have to devastate them. They're just too good looking. So. Yeah, I've got to figure out what's going on with my Bobby. Because it's really cool because my nearest point of land is right over there. OPG's base is right up there. And so I've got shoreline very close to me. And it's cool to go over there. And even if I have a little bit of the fog on, you can see the silhouette of it. On the eastern part of the island, and I do mean eastern part over here, you can see the mob farm right over there. And if I get right on the shoreline down to the south, I can look over across the water and I can see Nova's base. I can see the shoreline of it anyway. All right, I've got to concentrate a little bit here because I'm very high up on this pillar. Although I'm not necessarily too concerned about dying at this point with 800 plus deaths. It's just inconvenient. But you guys can see how cool that path looks like that, right? I mean, I'm hoping you guys are getting the same kind of effect out of that I am. I just like being up here sometimes. I can look out over the island. Like the trade center looks really cool from here. And then on this hill is where my bothy is going to go. And then I have a feature that's going to go right about where this pillar is, right around here. I have a feature that's going to go there. The villager breeder will be moved down that way. Then you can see the goat farm, and you can usually see the iron farm from here as well. So, yeah, it's cool, huh? When you set it off just a little bit like that. I'm thinking I'm now going to need a tall enough structure upon which I can get up to this kind of height where I can look down across the island like this. And it's probably going to be the iron farm. I have the guts of the iron farm finished, but my plan is to build some sort of decent looking structure around it and make it actually look like something. So, to survey your domain. I am the undisputed lord of all thy sea. I've kind of got an idea of what I want to do with the mushrooms. I am going to terraform this and change the biome, but I'm going to leave patches of Mushroom Island with these mushrooms on it. These are basically going to be like umbrellas. They're going to act as giant umbrellas, and these are going to act as giant lights. So I'm going to install lights on the interior of them, and then at nighttime, they'll be located more around the roads to light things up. And I think I'm going to go with that. I think that's pretty good. Let's get some of that. So I'm really heavily favoring the bubble coral and the horned coral. And then for a third, you know, the fire coral is pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Let's put in some of this fire coral. It's more tube coral. That's what I'm looking for right there. Okay, that's pretty good. And you know, I'm particularly enjoying like the contrast between this and the hall. I think that looks kind of cool. I think it's better than the deep slate. Like if we come over here, we can use this side as a right. I mean, this looks okay. Right? This is definitely a little easier on the eyes because, you know, you have the regular or regular enough deep slate pattern. It's a darker kind of color. Maybe it's some sort of transition between the black stone and the sandstone. It's somewhere in between that. But it's just kind of, like I said, it merely looks okay. It's playing it safe. Really playing it safe. Whereas over here, you know, that's pretty bizarre looking. This is going to be one of these features you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. You get up above here like this. One of the other things we have to do is actually work out a roof for that, for these structures. But and then, of course, this coral will go all the way around this section here. Oh, thanks. I'm about like maybe 90% satisfied with this, if you can quantify things with a percentage like that. The thing I think I kind of dropped the ball on this though is I tried to go for a more ornate kind of look because I'm trying to master that kind of building, like Nova and Nebula and Genie and the rest of you guys who are really good at that kind of stuff. I'm not, you know, so But I think the way I went about it here, I like the color palette for this. But what winds up happening here is I have so many little features in the way that they're put together is I feel like when you're close to it, it's okay. But when you back up from it, it's a little too busy and you kind of lose the shape of the structure a little bit. Right? The form kind of gets lost in the details a little bit. Not a lot, but now I don't want to change it. Don't go changing. But I'm gonna leave it like that. Maybe the roof will help it out a little bit. Because just having the redstone up there exposed and everything is probably throwing it off even more. But I feel when you get away from it, it kind of breaks up the structure of it a little bit. When you're close up on it, though, it's fine. I think it's because you're not taking it all in at once. And so you can look at, like, maybe this part of the structure or this part or that part. And in small pieces, in small doses, it looks pretty good. I think it's when you get back, it kind of gets a little messy. So... but only a little bit so. I mean, I'm overwhelmingly satisfied with it. And things are only going to look busier when I install all the coral and the sea life and everything into each one of these pools. Yeah, this really added to the look so much more than I thought it would. When I originally put this in, I could hear like the Norm Macdonald voice in my head saying, I think this is going to look pretty good. You know, I put it in and I'm just, wow, this looks really, really good. Yeah, it really kicks it up a whole other level. So, all right, now we're about to eat something, so we have to get over to here. Make sure we're okay. Yeah, sound is dangerous here. All right, let's do a little bit of that. You can see we already have quite a bit of coral here. As a matter of fact, there's Nebula. Hey, welcome in. Always good to see you. You guys can see the auto shutout there for our good friend, our moderator, and fellow buffoon, the one and only Princess Nebula, with an R at the end because I'm from New England. Nebs, how are you? How you been? I hope things are going well for you over there in Appalachia. Doing okay. Been working on yarny things. Or again, as us New Englanders would say, yanny things. Just finished a pair of socks for Shut. Now I'm working on a shawl. Oh, so will the shawl match his socks? That'll be so cool. Shut, I hope you heard that. I can see Shut mounted with his bushy beard and his wool socks, sitting in his chair with his feet up with his wool socks and his decorative shawl. All surly and taciturn with his bottle of whiskey. I know Chet drinks whiskey a little bit, but I don't think that that's his main drink, though. If I remember correctly. And he's probably not home from work quite yet. That's a funny idea, but no. Yeah, of course not. I'm being silly. I'm just trying to get rid of all this yarn that I really don't like. All right. Gotta say, respect for you there, Nebs, with that kind of hobby. Like, these could never do that. Like, even now, like, I've completely lost the ability to do things like sewing. And, you know, I don't do sewing as a hobby. I do it to fix my clothes, right? Because I'm a man. But yeah, I can barely, like, hold the needle now because I can't feel it at all. And the thread is, like, impossible. It just, I mean, trying to see it now is really hard. So it's kind of sad, really. I can't mend my own clothes anymore. So unmanly. But I'll just be like repeatedly stabbing myself with the needle and not feeling it. And then I'll get halfway through it. I'm like, where's all this blood coming from? Ah, yeah, okay. Most people use a thimble, Thunder. Yeah, I suppose. Let me see. Just making sure that there's no more coral laying about. I don't think there is. I think I got all of it. Oh no, need to buy yourself Thimbies for all of the... So this Sunday during the Kachi Time stream, if Kachi is up to streaming, I think he shall be. Of course, we'll have Biggie Cheese on as a guest since he's home from university. Let's see, do I have any more bubble? As a matter of fact, I do. And we're thinking on playing some Half-Life Deathmatch together. Now, Kachi and I have already done that once on stream, and it was hilarious. And Kachi's never done it since. I don't know if he's has a little trauma going on there or something, but because some of my old Half-Life stuff started to come back a little bit. But with Biggie in the map, Biggie also has not played Half-Life in a very, very long time. And, of course, he never got to put in the time that I put in on that. So, he's going to be a little rusty, too. But I think it'll level the playing field a little bit more. But I really had a lot of fun doing that with Kachi. So we're probably going to do that on Sunday. Well, we'll see what Kaji wants to do. It's his stream, so. But I think the viewers also liked that a lot too. because that's kind of like a throwback to the old Kachi Time Plays streams where Kachi and I would be actually playing games together, which we don't do so much nowadays. Now, let's see if we can get some of the fire coral in here now. Here we go. Yeah, that's it. All right, I think that's good enough for that. All right, let's work a little bit of the tube coral in there, but it's kind of obnoxious, so let's not do too much of it. The brain coral is like the most obnoxious. So I think you guys can see I'm trying to fill in the interior first and then try to leave the exterior there for the brain coral. I think it also makes a good transition between the cobble and the coral. Let's do that there. Try to break things up a little bit, like so. There we go. And then we'll just use the brain coral for whatever's left. Yeah, let's do this. Now, I am jerking the camera around a lot, and I apologize for that if some of you are getting a little motion sickness. It'll be over soon. Take your Dramamine. All right, yeah. See, I like this a little bit better. And of course, this is only going to look even better when we get the sea life all put into here and we start terraforming these areas around here. I think it'll offset a heck of a lot better. Yeah, they do. You know, there is a little bit of a misgiving here where this has more of a colder, bluer color to it, and this has a warmer kind of brown, almost purpley color to it. But it's close enough, right? I think it makes a good transition. I'm wondering maybe if should I spot some cobble in and around here against this wood. Maybe not. Not sure. I was thinking of making this entire circle out of oud, as Mrs. Thunderhand would say. With her Taiwanese accent, oud. So cute. But it really goes good with the Mushroom Island. Biome, right? Because it has that slight brown purpley in it. It goes good with that. And when I put the green terraforming in here too, it still goes pretty good with that. That's why I have the mossy cobble there. So let me see. I am significantly past the halfway point of the stream. I am going to take a 3-minute break and run some ads, and then we will be right back. I'll switch into standing mode, and then we'll probably put this coral stuff away and go take a little trip around the server. Alrighty, I shall be right back. Okay, and we're back, and we should be in standing mode, actually. There we go. That there, this here. Okay, I think Lux was on the server, but he must have headed out. Yeah. That's too bad. I wanted to bop over and pay that guy a visit. That lad, I haven't seen him in quite some time. So, let us. So, Drowned Farm was one of the things on which I was going to occupy myself. The other one was I was thinking about flying machines, and I know Sage needs TNT flying machine bombers to rip the top off his mountain and expose the ancient city. I know he needs to do that. And Nova built him one, and it does pretty good, but we were thinking a little bit more practical one and building a whole fleet of them. And, really? A whole fleet of them and just obliterating that mountain. And I've used flying machines before. Some of you may remember Season 4 for Buffooncraft. Our Christmas build with Shut and Nebula and... Was it Eve who was in on that with us? I think it was. And we had the Christmas builds that we were working on, and we made a big pit, and across the walls and the floor we had all kinds of murals, and we covered the whole thing with carpets. And then when it came time to do the reveal, Shut Mountain and I rigged it up so we hit the switch, and the flying machines come across and break away all of the carpet. It's like instantly crashed the server. It's so funny. Let's see. He said he's over at Eve's base. But I forget where Eve's base is. Now this is Lux and Kai. And this is Flying Cheska and Lone. This is, of course, us. Go towards the Trident Farm. Yeah, okay. Trident Farm has 2 entrances now. Here and here. Yeah. Thank you, Sage. Towards the Trident Farm. So I made an extra tunnel to the Trident Farm over here because for us in the southern tunnel, it's a little bit quick to access it from this side. There it is. Oh, that's right. She's down this way. Yeah, I when I made this tunnel, I remember that. Yeah, okay. So there's Corny's Trident Farm. Okay. This might be an ice road from Sages over to here. Maybe. Maybe. Because in the door. In the door. Is it really down this far? Those are just mining tunnels, I think. Is she really at the end down here, Sage? I didn't think so. I didn't think she was this far down. Is that a goat? A goat? Or is that a sheep? Those are more mining tunnels. He just blinked out. This must be her place. Welcome back, Game Stream. Yes, thank you, Nubs. You know, I've not been to Eve's place in quite some time. Sir. Here. Is my voice not on? Hey, I dropped your shulker down here.
Oh, hi.
There we go. I can hear clearly now that Thunder has activated his voice mod.
Well, I could hear you in stream, but it would be
Yeah.
a bit of a delay. So, I feel we've got a good start.
Sage, you didn't build all of this now, did you?
Well, I didn't build the exhibits.
I'm thinking of a word that starts with C.
Confident.
Sure.
Constraint.
Yeah. Okay.
Chimichangas. So yeah, Eve has built the exhibits,
Aw.
and then I needed to wrap a museum around it. And turns out, these lads are kind of big. So, there's also a few of them. So each of these rectangles is going to be one of the exhibits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there's 2 floors of exhibits. If you look up, you see the holes of
Wow.
where the other ones go.
By the way, she did an
So-
outstanding job on these. These look super cute.
Yeah. These are great. So yeah, I went with a stone construction because it's easier to acquire.
Yep.
I don't have to worry too much about the material.
Yep.
And then line the inside with pale oak. I just don't have a lot of it. It's easy.
That's okay. If she doesn't like it, she'll just have you change it all.
Yeah. Then inside, like big windows behind the exhibits would be nice. So I still have to carve those out everywhere, of course. But gives a bit of a difference.
Yeah, you went with the
Uh,
pale oak wood on the inside. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I figured like a lining wall would be nicer than to have just like a thin wall. So this way,
Right, right.
There's
Differentiate.
an outer
from-
wall. There's a bit of a gap. There's an inner wall. So there's actually enough space to play a bit with depth. This would be the top floor, which would have like the like you could have holes so you could view down as well.
Now, no spoilers if Eve doesn't want there to be spoilers, but is there a theme to the exhibits?
Well, the ones at the top don't have a sign yet, but if you go to the bottom, you can see what each exhibit is going to be.
Yeah. Okay, hence the signs. You're okay.
I put some
Husky.
effort into these stairs. Don't you be purling around.
Schnauzer. Okay, so these are all dog varieties. Doggos.
Doggos.
Cavalier. Border Collie. Okay. Poodle. Corgi. Okay, that's cute.
And then the top floor will be cats.
And the top floor will be the cats. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, I have to do some modding. I said no soliciting. There we go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, we're back.
That was fast. I didn't even see anybody. Wow. Yeah, so I'm still messing around with stairs and stuff. I decided to go with sort of like a half circle at the end here instead of just being flat, which I think adds a nice
Yeah.
shape to it.
Yeah, you don't want to build just a big old box, right?
Yeah. So like I'm trying out like a big swoopier staircase rather than just the angular one over there.
Don't mind me, I'm sleeping, but I'm still listening.
Yeah. You're sleepless then.
I'm just dozing.
So yeah. I feel it's getting somewhere.
Now, are you going to stick with the frog lights for lighting, or is that just temporary?
That's temporary for now. Like there's frog lights under the carpet already, so they're hidden away. Well, not under every bit.
Yeah, they're just here and there, like that one. Okay.
Yeah. Which does a good enough job around here, but it's a big establishment, so I'm gonna have to figure something out. I figured like little benches are nice because like in the museum you want to take your time and have it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
They don't get in the way of the exhibits themselves, but they're far enough away that from the bench.
I want to see if I still have the emotes. Oh, yes, I do. There we go.
There we go. So like from here, you can clearly get a good view of the structures because they're quite big. You do need to be a distance away from them to capture them
To fully appreciate
in
them.
their full glory.
Yeah. Just stay right there. Then we got an F5. There we go.
Do you want your your thumbnail,
My thumbnail. Yeah, like the.
or do you want it on the other bench so you have the doggos in the background?
Well, we could do that too. This looks kind of funnier though because I have the F5 set for it's the view behind us, and it kind of gives that Mystery Science Theater vibe where.
Ah, yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, this is what I've been busy with.
Now, for how many days have you been working on this now?
I think today is day 4. And it's definitely slowing down the higher I go because it's getting trickier.
Yeah, of course.
But I also have like realizations of like, wait a minute, it's too boxy. We need to do something. So, especially if you look from the outside, you can see sort of like I put a layer between the 2 floors. Like between the 2 floors, I put a bit of a.
Oh yeah, you got some trim around there. You have to give it a little depth. Yeah, break up the.
Yeah, like the windows are not only inset, but they have like the card stone to like change it up a little
add
bit.
some accents and stuff.
I do want to sort of like mix it up with sort of the cracks and the moss or whatever, but I figure I'll go back on another pass once we're a bit closer.
I was going to suggest maybe you might want to try some faux columns that only like stick out partially. But if you, I guess around the side here though, the curve kind of gives that effect already. So I think you're good there.
Like I'm thinking like maybe a bit of a, I have to get rid of all this things. But careful with the berries. Like the space between the windows could be a bit of a column.
Yeah, I guess.
Just like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I just like poke it out the middle 4 a little bit, then it again adds a little 3-dimensionalness to it.
Yeah, you might get away with running 2 right up the side here, right? I mean, right up the center.
Yeah.
Just as long as they don't jut out too much.
And then like grand staircase with like the plinths on either side. I made the plinths a bit bigger to put like the braziers.
Ah, yes.
With a safety grating. So like, look, it's you don't hurt yourself. Because it's an educational place. It's not a.
Oh, good. So it's Lux proof.
Yeah. Look,
cheap shot, Lux.
So many people. We have so many people on the server that we have to proof things for. Like the stairs, I made them and immediately got the comment like, "They're not Eve proof." Like, yes, I know, but like, so we have to Eve, Lux, and Cheska proof everything.
Well, you'd only have to thunderproof it if I were going to AFK here. For some reason, I don't know, I've been taking an absurd amount of deaths through AFK lately. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I should not have any, but...
You manage.
Yeah, I guess that's a new thing, so...
So that little peak on the side there is how high the second floor wall has to be.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's gonna be up there.
And then I want to add like a roof on top of it. And I'm thinking like a half pipe kind of thing, like a not a dome because it's tube, but like a tube with dome ends.
Yeah.
I think would be interesting. Like this platform was sort of like the original. Like this is how high the thing has to be. And then yeah, with the shell built, we can actually start working on it properly.
I want to take a look at the surrounding area here, because that's a cool looking structure over there. Natural geological formation right there. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to displace some local inhabitants for this grand museum.
Were you being constantly set upon by the polar bears?
Oh, not really, but we do have occasional unwanted visitors in the form of villagers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, understood.
They do enjoy popping in unexpected.
Of course. There's the polar bears out there, but none of them appear to be mamas, so of course they're chill and cool.
Yeah. Also, the ice hops would be chill and cool.
You've got one over here, though. I don't know.
Yeah, there's another one here, also spawnless. There's a couple more down there without babies, so... Very just local wildlife. Harmless. Yeah, this is a big attempt at a swoopier staircase. I feel it's gonna need... It can do with more swoop.
Oh, here we go. Yes,
It
its
can be
swoop.
swoopier.
Its swoopy coefficient needs a higher magnitude.
But yeah, definitely better already than the straight lines.
Yeah, it's kind of you use the straight lines to sort of sketch it in and get the area, and then you go about breaking them up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like this is still going to leave a lot of empty space, so there could be like, I don't know, like a water feature or like a little garden or something in these little corners.
Yeah, this is almost a genie temple scale build.
Yes, but made of stone and wood instead of like quartz and diamonds.
And diamonds.
Like
her totally cheeky opulence.
Like most of the materials that you see here, I had in storage. Like I've had to do very little mining to actually.
Yeah, because you've already mined
like,
out so much stuff of this kind of stuff from your base, right?
Like I have reached the point where I've run out of stone. I haven't like smelted all the cobble, but it's easy enough to get.
Of course, Jeannie immediately jumped into chat. Nothing wrong with
Nothing
quartz
wrong
and
with
diamond.
Well, Ginny, if you want to get enough quartz to replace this interior wall lining, you're welcome to do so.
There you go. Yeah. Challenge accepted.
Like in terms of interior, I think I'd like to do a bit like a sort of like arching, not like column, but like a support arch from the wall to the floor above or something.
Yeah, just like a
That'd be
feature
nice.
arch, right?
Yeah.
Maybe just like this transition right here off of these, right?
Yeah, just like here in the middle, like 2 blocks at the main thing, and maybe 2, like one on each side as an accent, going up
And
then-
at. Yeah, as we'd say in New England.
Yeah. Also, a possibility is to put like 2 big columns, like here and on the other side of the carpet. To hold
Yeah,
up
that
the
would be
floor,
cool.
and then put an arch
Yeah.
in between. So like, there's lots that could be done with the interior then.
Yeah, with
But
the
I
glass
kinda want
columns,
to
you could
let
put something
the-
on the interior too, like water with bubbles and
Yeah.
stuff and little fishies and things. or cats.
But mostly I want to let Eve build the statues,
Yeah, yeah.
because that sort of will define how much space there's left. Because like the ears can get quite big, as you can see here. So anything too extravagant would flip those.
Big ears. Yeah. These are super cute, by the way.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
And a little bit intimidating with their size, but not much. Mostly cute. Look at this dude with his tongue sticking out. That's that's cute. And this little red bow with the yellow bell, I think, is on it, right? That's the.
Well, I think that's part of the. Collar? Not sure. Like this one is clearly has a red collar with a little like.
With the bell, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
this one I think is a bow.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like a clip or a, yeah.
Like a not a tag, a pendant? The little name thing, you know?
Yeah, that thing. That thing that goes there and does that thing.
It does that, yeah. One of the big reasons I want to put in a roof is just because of all this freaking snow.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. Of course, viewers, it goes without saying to, welcome Jeannie on in. You guys can see her auto shout out down there. Oh,
and
yes,
like...
the telltale ominous bottles in the chest.
Ah, yeah. As you can see, 2 visits so far for prospective guests.
So we do have an event coming up the Sunday after this.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
I
have no idea what it's going to be, but I'm thinking it may open up the end to us. It may be that event.
Yeah.
I think it's about time for that, and that's my guess.
I think we'll see. It's it could be the castle. It could be anything else. I'm curious.
Wow, this location is so cool.
Yeah, I'm starting to put in dirt because the ice and water was annoying me, but now there's snow everywhere. It's also annoying, but yeah. At least there's a solid walkway. Up till now, it was very much just parkour to get to the gates.
Hey, are you going to try to put in more of the copper accents? Because this works out really good. I mean, it's a no-brainer for the...
Yeah, I think it for the braziers for sure. It might go here and there as well.
But
it works with the sort of antiquity vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, because you could use that for little accent stuff. So of course, if you use it too much, it's obnoxious, right? But
yeah, but it could be for the illumination or something, right? That we have copper chandeliers or something. I feel there's a lot of possibility.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at the outside with the stone, and then past on the interior with the pale oak, and it looks like a good offset, especially where you have it semi-oxidized like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm just leaving it to oxidize for now. I think fine completely green, but I kind of like this intermediate stage.
Yeah. I'm using this on Generations in the same kind of way where, I just let it get semi-oxidized like that, and it looks cool. Yeah. Noise.
But for now, it's getting the structure done.
Yeah, indeed.
Especially with the barrel roof, I kind of want to play around with.
So from where did you get all this pale wood?
I basically just like.
Oh,
plant
you
6
made
of
a
them.
tree farm. There's a tree farm over at your place.
Not for pale wood. No, no, no. I
Oh,
just sort of
okay.
like planted a bunch of them,
Oh, all right. Yeah.
like
So you did the manual. Yeah.
like 6 of them. But like once you go round, like the first one is regrown already, so
Yeah. Yeah. I
easy enough.
guess. Right.
Like pale oak grows fast enough, and it drops enough saplings. So
Yeah, and it grows in the
no
two
real
by
issue.
two trunks like the dark oak. So
Yeah, actually, this morning there was like a bit of a patch outside here, which I removed just because it was in the way. But yeah. Yeah, like there's always a possibility of building a little hut outside here for a gift shop.
gift shop. So, sir, we're gonna have to get on flying machines pretty soon. I'm starting to get the itch for that.
Look, if you're whenever you're interested in giving it a spin, I'm happy for your assistance.
Yeah, like I said, just let me get my test world going and let me fool around with them for a bit, and then we'll do a TNT flying machine bombing stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. That is going to be a super fun one.
I just realized that looks really funny from the outside.
I know how to switch 2 of them, but how do you switch? Are you just running the scroll wheel across?
Yeah, my mouse has a button that unlocks the scroll wheel,
Oh, cool.
so
Yeah,
it just freewheels.
that looks funny.
It's actually a great way for like texturing things, if it weren't of this size, of course, because I can fill my hotbar with the materials. I just freewheel it across as like block, 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 and it sort of ensures randomness.
Trying to think if my arrow keys will do that. No, they won't. Okay. The F key might do that though, right? Nah, not really. It just switches. The F key is the one where you switch hands.
Yeah, you just sort of like jiggle it back and forth.
Yep. So what was Lux working on in here today? Was he working on a storage system?
He helped with a bit of the placement of the stone here.
Oh, okay.
And then he also built the second layer of his storage system, I believe. Oh.
I'm trying to get the side view, but I can't. Fuck.
Yeah, you just keep rotating.
Yeah. Oh well.
You have to ask somebody else to come to do the side view for you. But yeah, like this could be little trash cans.
Yeah, those are cool.
Well, little trash cans, huge trash cans, but you know.
Gee, how much trash is going to be generated here in the old museum?
Maybe do use it more as like a planter or something.
These are for all the solicitations.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. I am down to the last 5 minutes or so of my stream.
Oh no!
Good Lord. Yeah, today's an early day. Early release for Kachi at his school today, so Biggie and I have to go and pick him up.
Yeah.
He gets out early, so
Also gives him more time to hang out with the brother.
Yeah. Their spring breaks are not together this year.
Yeah.
They're separated by 3 or 4 days, so that really sucks for us. But
Yeah.
all
I'm
right,
sure you'll manage.
I'm gonna head on my merry way.
Yeah. Thank you for your visit.
Love what you're doing here.
Yeah. I look forward to finding another project to procrastinate on this one.
Flying machines. That's next.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll loop all the way around and end up being productive. See ya.
See yous. All right, now how do I get back here? Is that over here? I remember taking a turn at one point. There it is. Got it. There's the nether shape who patrols the portal to the nether. Huh. There's Lone Star. Hey, you guys can see the auto shout out there for the mighty, the one and only Lone Star. How you doing today there, lad? This is not much faster than walking. In fact, this is actually slower than walking. It's because the blocks on either side of the path are dragging. So, dragging us down. So it's just easier just to run like this. Good, just got home from the gym. Ooh. He's all buff and sweaty. Ladies, control yourselves now. Let's see. Back down this way. Let me think. Is there anything else on which we really need to do right now? I think not. I think it's just heading back to the base and then wrapping things up for now. Want to get in shape as soon as possible for September when I hop across the big lake. Ah, yes. Coming across to our side of the pond, are you? Picking off, Mama. See you later. Okay. Thank you, Jeannie. We're about to wrap things up here anyway. Drive safe. Tell Mom I said hi. Oh, so hopefully next stream we will start building something right there, right out there in the water. I think that's what we'll be doing. So it'll be next Friday. Let's go for a run, boy. Let's go see what's going on with the goats before we leave. Really? Come on, hands. We'll sign off over at the super annoying goat farm. Why? Because it's hilarious as it is annoying. Hello, Mushi. Of course, we've put in our new roads. We should try our best to use them. There we go. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm already liking the texture of the coral like this. I don't know, somehow it gives it like more perspective. The way that wraps around like that. Like if you look at this side, I mean, it functions in the same kind of way, but I don't know. It's the kind of pattern, I guess, gives you a better sense of depth than the deep slate does. I feel it does anyway. Mighty Bee Farm. Have any of you grown up and dropped those horns yet? Like I said, I would like to get that admire horn. Well, our friends are all grown up and hornless, so there must be must be a few horns down here. What do we have? Yearn, admire. Woo! We've got the admire horns finally. Nice. Listen to. Now let me see. Are we far enough away from the trade hall? I think we are. I'm not sure what there is to admire with that. But did you see how both horns blew, even though I only had one selected in the hotbar? That's kind of weird. Then, of course, if you guys haven't heard the yearn horn, ever since I was young, I yearned for the mines. Oh, okay, wait. Oh wait, it looks like it's all the horns in your inventory. Watch. See? Now they're not all sounding all at the same time. I like that yearn horn, by the way. But you're getting the cooldown on those, so you can't like blow one and then while one is going, blow the other. I think that's what that's about. Like, if we started admire and then we tried to blow urine at the same time, we wouldn't be able to do it. I think that's what that's about. All right, let's get the urine horns here. I think there's... Are there only two? That's fine, but finally we have all of the horns, everyone. Goats. Come here, you screaming fools. Come here. And there we are. That'll do it for today's stream, everybody. Let's see if there's anybody to whom we can raid out. You know, someone to whom I haven't raided out in a very, very long time, and is a local friend to us over here, is the mighty Jamo the Schmo. We are going to raid out to Jamo. Let's do that, shall we? Listen to those goats. Okay, so you guys can see the raid message, you guys. Friends, you can see the raid message there in the chat. You can copy and paste that into the chat if you would like to join us on this raid. And I always request or at least ask the viewers to come along on these raids with us, even if you can't stay for the entire stream. If you could just drop in and say hi, and if you feel so inclined, drop a follow, some bits, some subs. That would be cool. Let's set up the raid itself. There we go. And we are now in countdown to raid out to JMO the Schmo. Family-friendly viewers, I don't have to advise anything for this one because JMO is family-friendly, as am I. So, so you guys will like JMO. If you're not familiar with JMO the Schmo, he's a charity streamer. He's local to me. He probably lives about 30, 40 miles east of me. Though we've yet to meet up in real life. We should get around to doing that. We also have mutual friends. My fellow streaming friend PC and Coffee is a mutual friend of ours, IRL too. So, okay, just remember everybody that we do this Buffooncraft stream every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Our next stream will be on Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That'll be Kachi time, and Biggie will be a guest on that. And I think Kachi's going to feel up to streaming this Sunday. We'll see. And then those goats. The stream after that will be Wednesday. That'll be from noon to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be Generations, and we should be on the Generation 5 Survival World. And we should be updated to the 1.21.4 version at that time. Okay, with that, everybody, thank you so much for showing up today. Let's raid out to JMO now.